Thank you for listening and welcome to the Life Podcast, a proud member of the Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network. I'm your host, Don Smith. It's a new year, and instead of a live show, I thought we should take a random look back at some of my favorite news stories that we covered on the show in 2017. If you enjoy the show, like and follow the Life 1069 on Facebook and Don Smith Comedy on Twitter, or tune in live on Wednesdays from noon to 2 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can stream the show live at wwsu1069.org.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
A charity that provides toilets. Did I just say toilet?
Yeah, that's down there in northern Kentucky.
Well, you
area.
said we had a Kentucky listener, so toilets.
It's toilets on the other side of the creek.
Oh, now I just offended them again. A charity that provides toilets to poor Indians is leading an effort to rename a tiny northern village after President Donald Trump, saying the gesture is meant to honor the relations with U.S. And draw support for better sanitation in India. Doesn't sound like it to me. The new name, Trump Sulabh Village, is not official and so will not appear on maps. The charity's name is Sulabh International, after the Hindi word for accessible, which is meant to describe the simple pit toilets it builds for free across the country. A simple pit toilet. They dig a hole.
And why not attach Trump's name to it?
Why not? It sounds right to me.
That sounds like kiss kebab.
Many of the 400 villagers said they had no idea who Trump is, but they are delighted that their village elders agreed to the promotional gimmick because it also means they will receive free toilets in each of the village's 60 or so mud-built huts.
All right.
None of the funding for the new toilets is coming from Trump or the United States. But they're going to try to name. I've always thought that a toilet should be named after him. Because who doesn't want to take a Trump dump, you know?
Right.
So basically you said they're just digging a hole and calling it a toilet.
That's what
what
they
do
said.
now.
Yeah,
now they're
pretty
just going to
much,
set a...
Well, that's what they describe it as, a simple pit toilet.
The Does
true...
every one of them get their own toilet like Brad?
Who's Brad?
Pitt.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
That one.
Yeah, it's named after
biscuit.
Pitt. So, yeah.
And the most dangerous one would be the Pit and the Pendulum.
Yeah.
No!
Yep. Now we're swinging.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. You are not going to be
I'm picturing people like
at all.
slamming a book on their head in between a desk right now, like, stop!
I can't take it anymore.
Why can't I stop listening?
It's like a train wreck. You can't look away.
Just wait and see what's next.
The channel.
I am not your father.
As the inevitable robot takeover looms, it's nice to know we have one surprising weapon in our arsenal. I can't talk today.
It's all right.
I can't. As the inevitable robot takeover, we'll try it again. As the inevitable robot takeover looms, it's nice to know we have one surprising weapon in our arsenal: kangaroos. Volvo has confessed that the springy marsupials are throwing off the large animal detection systems being developed for self-driving cars. According to the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, those systems are meant to make sure the cars avoid animals along the road, such as deer or cattle. But the hopping of the kangaroos is messing with the detection, which uses the ground as a reference point. Volvo Australia's technical manager David Pickett told the Australian Broadcasting Company, "We've noticed the kangaroo with the kangaroo being in mid-flight, when it's in the air, it actually looks like it's further away. Then it lands and it looks closer."
Yeah.
Maybe they should work on that, I guess. If they're going to develop self-driving cars in Australia, you're going to have to worry about kangaroos.
I was gonna say,
that's all there is to it.
Is the kangaroo now the smartest, animal on land or something?
Because we got the dolphins in the ocean now. The kangaroos are actually. So basically, when the robot apocalypse occurs, when the takeover happens, when the revolution, when the robots revolt, that is going to be our best mode of transportation. Saddle up the kangaroo,
suit them up,
and you'll be
Kangaroo Jack,
kangaroo armor. They'll be little mercenaries popping out of pouches and doing some shooting. That's going to be the new Navy SEAL right there, is the kangaroo.
The Kangaroo Jack, prepare for combat. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, that's another good movie. It's a sequel to the first.
There it is. Yeah, you heard it here first.
So yeah, we're all about some weird conspiracy stuff today because we're going to talk about Alex Jones too. The healthcare bill being debated in Senate could have a devastating effect on millions of Americans, not least of all the country's legal sex workers, because there are so many of them, so many illegal sex workers. Mm-hmm. A few of them have refused to take it lying down.
Wow.
That's in the article. That's not
me.
Man. That's not me. That's in the article.
Someone typed that up and then smiled and
Yep.
I'm good today.
Great. And an editor let that through, too.
Instead, they formed a group called Hookers for Healthcare. Awesome. To raise awareness about how the bill could harm their lives and careers. Because I will say, you definitely want your hookers healthy.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody wants an unhealthy hooker. That would be, well, that's a way to catch something, honestly.
Wasn't that a film in the 70s, The Unhealthy Hooker?
I think there were several films in the 70s that revolved around that topic. Alice Little, who works at the Sagebrush Ranch Brothel near Carson City, Nevada, wrote a blog post on bunnyranch.com. See, there's all kinds of great websites to check out.
Okay, now who is going to the Bunny Ranch website to read the blog?
To read a blog about healthcare.
That's, I read Playboy for the articles, and I go to the Bunny Ranch website.
Probably Trump. That's probably where he gets some of his best news sources, is at the bunnyranch.com blog posts. That's
yeah.
And Alex Jones. That's his name.
There's no unnamed sources there, except their names are all things like Bubbles and
cinnamon. Yeah, that's. Yeah. Anyway, the 25-year-old, what was her name, Alice Little, explains how reducing access to Medicaid can make it that much harder for women like herself to become financially independent, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, that's Hookers for Healthcare. Check them out. Donate to Hookers for Healthcare, because that's where I want my money going. Because I don't want unhealthy hoes. We want our hookers healthy.
Just make your donation in cash so it doesn't show up in your credit card statement.
Yeah. You don't want, because then the wife will see it.
Right. Yeah.
You're busted, man.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. See, this is fun. How else would people know what's going on in their world if we don't tell them? Yeah. If we don't, because I
can't imagine how.
Until I read her blog, I didn't know anything about the healthcare. I didn't even know it existed.
Oh no, you never hear about it anywhere.
Exactly. It wasn't.
Nobody's talking about this.
Yeah, the mainstream media just completely ignores this healthcare bill.
Oh, there's a bill?
Apparently. Well, yeah, I get a bill every time I go to the doctor.
Every time.
Yeah. That's my healthcare bill. That's the only thing I knew about it, was that,
I thought you were going to say you got a bill every time you went to the Bunny Ranch, but that was...
Well, that too,
okay.
that too. And, they use, they both use rubber gloves and Vaseline, so we're good. That's why, that's the confusion right there. Okay. Is, I guess
it's a complicated
it depends on
issue,
what you, yes, it depends on what you pay your doctor.
Who knew healthcare was so complicated?
It's new to me, that's for sure. The next one I'm going to read just because of the guy's name. Family in Florida, and it's Florida, which, everybody knows. Anybody who listens to the show any length of time knows how I feel about news stories from Florida. They have the best news. Yes, I lived there for a year and a half, and those people are nuts.
Oh, God.
Family in Florida was left outraged this week after a group of animal welfare activists, and you haven't had that on Unwritten Podcast yet. Haven't had the animal, haven't had the PETA members protesting at the school yet. That's it. See, so many new areas to cover.
Cat in season 2, though.
Yes,
that's true. Dinah.
Dinah. Yeah.
Good kitty. Anyway, a family in Florida was left outraged this week after a group of animal welfare activists confronted them while they were fishing at a park in St. Petersburg. Bob Hope was fishing with his parents, which, man, his parents must be old. Bob Hope was fishing with his parents at Crescent Lake Park on Tuesday when the dispute with vegan activists began. 2 videos of the incident, including one filmed by Hope's mom, And one film by the activists that they were just competing on social media, I guess. That's really where the outrage come from. Bob Hope told ABC Action News that he and his family were fishing for dinner and had caught a tilapia. When a young boy approached him and said, fish feel pain, you're hurting that fish. No, I'm planning on eating that fish. Moments later, a group of protesters, some wearing blue shirts that read Animal Liberation Now, appeared from around the corner just like magic. They appeared from around the corner like they were watching this kid and his fish the whole time. They grabbed the fish and threw it back into the lake. The family was waiting for Hope's brother to return to the lake with a bucket for the fish. So they were, they were just waiting for a bucket, and their fish got stolen by activists and thrown back into the water.
Oh.
That is heartbreaking. A young man just wanting to eat some tilapia. And these heartless animal activists.
Where are they fishing? I paid $25 for my tilapia.
Right. Well, they were fishing. It was St. Petersburg, Florida.
Okay.
So next time you have an itching for some tilapia, head to where was it here? Crescent Lake Park.
All right.
In St. Petersburg, Florida. So go there and get your tilapia, but protect it with everything you have, or it will be thrown right back out to sea.
I just imagine that there's this, like, behind every tree, there's this activist, right? They're all just hiding and waiting.
Just waiting.
Yep. That's
for someone to catch something, and then they all come charging out. It's the Tilapia Brigade.
Fish! And they charge right out. The Tilapia Brigade. That's fantastic.
And
I'm going to get a T-shirt made now.
Tilapia Brigade. I love it. Make sure it's camo so you blend in with those trees.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. It can't be a bright color.
No, it has to be camo. That's fantastic. St. Petersburg Tilapia Brigade. Because they're bound to be in different areas. So you'd have to have different chapters of where is your local
I think we
tilapia?
call them cells.
Tilapia Brigade.
Yeah, there's cells. There's sleeper cells in the Tilapia Brigade. That's fantastic.
Oh my god.
They stalk Bob Hope. This is this is amazing news.
Yeah, Bob Hope lost his tilapia to the local St. Petersburg Tilapia Brigade sleeper cell.
Oh,
this
man.
is why we do news on this show, because you never know. And I want my T-shirt. I'm gonna write that down.
Yes.
That is fantastic.
Put that into season 40 of Unwritten.
Yeah, there you go. Bob
Elaine
Hope and
joins
the Tilapia
Brigade.
It does sound like something she would do.
It totally sounds like something she would do. I love it.
Yeah, that's going to be part of her blog now that she's trying to get out there to save
right.
the tilapia.
We forgot to say Elaine does have a blog. She has an outlet for her writing. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, because she was trying to get stuff written before. Now she's trying to get stuff written again about the local chapter of the Tilapia Brigade.
Mm-hmm.
There you
which
go.
has nothing to do with the Unwritten podcast. I just enjoy it. I want a T-shirt now, and I'm going to start working on that. This is out of Florida, and I love Florida news. I always do. A Florida family was jolted awake in the wee hours Saturday morning, startled to find that 15 pounds of frozen meat had crashed onto their roof. It was like thunder. It awakened me out of a sleep, Travis Adair told WPLG. When family members went outside to investigate, they found 2 packages of frozen Italian pork sausage in the side of their yard and at their Deerfield Beach home, and 3 more packages on the roof. Adair told the Associated Press that the meat sacks must have fallen from above, since they were too heavy to have been thrown onto the roof from the ground. His wife, Jenny Adair, speculated the meat fell from a plane and may have related to a, quote, drug deal. Because when I'm paying for my cocaine, I use sausage, because that is the international currency in drug deals.
I got no hypothesis as to how that happened. I got nothing. How meat just falls from the sky.
Yeah, that's so weird.
I just thinking of what I just watched Donnie Darko last week with my girlfriend. So I think of the thing from the airplane that came through.
The Boeing bomb. Yeah. Or was it Joe Dirt? The frozen toilet toilet water from the airplane. Yeah.
Okay.
But this was actually packages of sausage, and I really think the speculation that this came from a drug deal, that is very racist of this person to say that, because it was Italian sausage, and just because it's Italian sausage doesn't mean the Italians were up there dealing drugs.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm Italian, so I
mean,
got to say
because there is no mafia. That's all a rumor.
Yeah.
Well, they just run those betting cards now. They used to run the garbage and stuff. My people have really kind of taken a step back.
Yeah, they're out of the Italian sausage drug deal. Game.
I don't know how they would. Yeah, it does sound drug-ish.
Yeah, but how do you how do you make the connection from sausage to must have been a drug deal?
That's trying to find out how.
That's a jump that they can only make in Florida, I think.
There's a lot of Italians in Florida, actually.
Yeah,
they're all old, but
and just the jump from Italian sausage to must have been a drug deal gone bad.
Well, yeah, that's how it's always been.
Frozen Italian pork sausage.
Yeah, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around how that came out of a plane.
Yeah, it's was it
stuff
stuck?
falls off planes, but not out of.
Did a baggage handler forget to lock a door or something? Was there the frozen pork
It'd be
sausage
other stuff.
section of the plane?
There'd be other stuff that would come out.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was never discovered.
Yeah, maybe it landed on somebody else's house and they didn't wake up.
Could be.
But I would think if it's frozen sausage, it's falling from a plane that far, it's going to go right through that roof.
Yeah, I think it is.
I mean, that's free food. I'm not sure why the people were complaining
about
it.
But, I mean, if it's still frozen, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, fire up and get some pasta going. We got us a good dinner.
That's a tough one. I can't figure it out. I can't come up with anything.
Yeah, that's same here. I'm at a loss.
Yeah.
On many things on that article, but
yes.
It is a Florida story, which that's why they're my favorites.
My only explanation is the guy made it all up because he just wanted some attention.
Yeah.
He just made it all up.
Yeah, that's
what I'm thinking.
But even with that, I mean, that's kind of brilliant.
Yeah,
because how would that be? I know. Let's throw sausage on the roof and claim it fell there.
Well, he probably has been mulling over it for a while, and then generally you don't want to come up with a stock excuse of what happened,
right?
So I remember when I was working in the mall, like I had to fake being sick one day, and I didn't say I had a cold. I said I had botulism. Because it just doesn't sound like something you'd make up.
Right, yeah, the devil's in the details kind of
so
thing.
He
if
probably
you're more
just
specific,
thought up the
it's
most
more
outrageous story.
Yeah, if it's more specific, it's more believable.
Yes.
If he'd have just said meat fell on my, it's frozen Italian pork sausage. That's
That's right. Yeah.
So, yeah, I can.
I'm thinking somebody
that.
Launched it also with one of those rubber band things that they use to launch water balloons.
But that would be more likely than it fell out of a plane. Because if it fell out, that's a long way to fall, and it's going to pick up enough momentum. It's going through that roof. Well, there's been stories of that with the frozen ice chunks, which basically come out of the toilet. The Boeing bombs. There have been incidences where those have fallen straight through the roof from a toilet
when
on
you
a
flush
plane.
The toilet in an airplane, the water goes out.
Not right away. I think it stores for a while, and then that way they can have bigger chunks.
When I was a kid. This is kind of a tangent, but when I was a kid, my dad was cheap and we didn't fly. We took a Amtrak train to Florida from Newark, New Jersey. Okay, so I lived in upstate New York, and we drove to Trenton. Even so, we drove to Trenton to the Amtrak station, and one of the things that happened back then, it was probably late 70s, early 80s. You went to the bathroom, and there's train tracks going by. Your waste went onto the. That doesn't happen anymore, I'm sure. But
where would it go, though? I mean, surely they wouldn't save it.
It must be like having an RV and then you got to empty it out like Randy Quaid. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
But it was interesting development. It must have caused so much waste, much pollution that they eventually put it. I'm not even making that up. I remember as a kid, like train tracks going by, a little teeny hole, you flush it.
Yeah. Well, it beats hanging your butt out the window, I guess.
It's close.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing, only fewer people see it that way.
No one sees it.
Well,
later people see what's left.
Yeah, they see the byproduct.
Yeah.
All right.
This is great. Jacob's like, why did I do this?
Yeah, and I agree.
I should have listened to one of his podcasts before I came on this.
All right. Here's actually a local one I'd like to talk about. A woman shocked 911 operators in Ohio when she called in to report she had a 5-foot-long snake wrapped around her neck. She said, I have a
That
boa
writes itself.
constrictor.
Been there. I think we've all been
How did
there.
she,
haven't we?
did she take it off to measure
Yeah,
it?
like you were saying.
Yeah, I
does
call
she know
that
it's 5
Saturday night.
She called and said, I have a boa constrictor stuck to my face.
But it sounded more
so
like
that-
this.
Yeah. Boa constrictor. Right. She added the snake latched onto her nose. Kind of sounded like And she said she was unable to pry its mouth open. On the call, the dispatcher can be heard saying, I have never heard this before.
Imagine that.
So that is definitely, even for Ohio, that is a weird news story. So that
now, was it her
actually-
boa constrictor, or did they talk? Did it come out of the toilet like all those?
It was
you
like
know?
her boyfriend's pet or
Oh,
something
okay.
like that. So
Did
it was,
the dispatchers like Facebook Live this? Because
they should have.
I would
They
love
should've.
to listen to that one.
See, at least you didn't call and say my
Yeah.
say that my boyfriend's pet snake is wrapped around my throat.
She might.
I'm
We don't
choking on my boyfriend's pet snake.
like to see the transcription.
Yeah, that's true. We should try to get the whole 911.
I'd like to point out
She
that
did live, though,
there's four
right?
guys in here laughing and one woman shaking her head.
Well, yeah. That's normal. That's normal for this show. You know, any of the guys are going to be laughing at
Just
it.
have these headphones
Nobody
on.
else will. Yep. See, he's putting on headphones just.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I'll
he's
listen.
like, I don't want to miss
See,
any of this.
the
Talking
joke's
about
on him.
snakes
It's all
and
transmitted through there. Speaking of offending people, this might. Indonesia has deployed armed police and soldiers to help villagers on the island of Java fight back against marauding monkeys that have been terrorizing their area, stealing food, and even attacking vulnerable elderly elderly residents and a child. The long-tailed macaques have been growing increasingly bold in their interactions with humans in the Boyolali district, can't say that twice, of central Java, north of the city of Solo. The police chief, I'm not even going to try his name, says the monkeys started coming here 2 months ago. After we shot one of them, the rest didn't come back. Now they're back again. A task force set up to patrol the area will shoot monkeys if necessary, he said, although traps will also be used to return them to the forest. So...
They're back for revenge.
Yes, they shot one, and
Yeah.
they said, much like Briar Gates, and
Yeah.
said, I'm looking for the man that killed my
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
So, shooting monkeys. Shooting the marauding monkeys of Java. That's
Oh, that'd be so embarrassing too. It's like, how'd you get that bruise, Eunice? Oh, I got attacked by a monkey.
Yeah.
Like,
which has happened before. Though, wasn't there was one lady about had her face ripped off.
Oh,
by that.
yeah.
That's crazy.
oh,
So I guess it's
yeah,
I guess it's a difference between looking at the face ripping type of monkey,
yeah.
or if you're looking at the cute cuddly type of monkey. You don't want to shoot them. But if it's a face ripping monkey,
Yeah.
I say take them out.
Me too.
Especially they've already proven that it worked.
Yeah,
You know, they've already proven that it worked because he said we shot one and they went away.
yeah.
So I guess I am advocating right now that they shoot another one.
Yeah. Yeah. If they're hurting people,
Yeah, it sounds terrible, but it's like, yeah, if it'll get the rest of them to go away to safety, shoot a monkey. Why not?
people are definitely going to be offended.
Yep, that's what. We might get some letters on that
Yeah.
one. That is the life at Gmail, the life1069 at gmail.com. Just so you know, if you want to, I'd love to get hate mail over advocating monkey shooting. Because any hate mail I get for that would definitely be something I would read on the air.
Yeah. Yes.
If there wasn't a lot I had to bleep out. I'd say I hope to be important enough someday to get that level of hate mail. And that's why shoot a monkey.
Yeah.
That's my new slogan for the radio show. Welcome to the
t-shirts.
life. Shoot a monkey. Save the rest of them. That's how we save monkeys around here. We shoot one of them. The rest of them will be perfectly fine unless they're really dumb monkeys.
Yeah.
And which does happen. I'm sure there are some of them like, what was that noise? And,
Yeah.
you know, they probably don't talk, though.
Oh,
or
yeah,
you can
probably
maybe
not.
reason with them if they do.
Yeah.
So yeah, they are.
I just can't believe they're like killing or you're attacking elderly people.
Yeah, and a child.
And a child.
Which, I mean, it depends on what the kid did. He may they may have deserved it. They may have been like throwing stuff at him because you never know.
It's true.
If I see a kid with a stick poking dogs through a chain link fence and that dog ends up biting him, I say, go, dog.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You know, that kid needed that.
Yeah.
He probably won't poke any more dogs with sticks.
He learned his lesson.
So, yeah, shoot a monkey. The rest of them are going to get out of there.
Yeah, yeah.
You have well-placed shot. You only got to do one. Oh, I can feel the hate mail coming. The only reason I have this is I'm filming Saturday, and after that I can get rid of it because I'm filming from Gettysburg to Baghdad, and I play a Confederate Army major.
Ah.
Got to have the beard.
Yeah, of course you do.
I was hoping a couple weeks ago we were going to wrap filming on that, but something happened with the location, as happens with independent film quite often.
The beard suits you, though. So I mean,
I was going to say,
yeah,
you grow a nice beard, so it's like.
Well, I'm getting tired of it. I love it, but at the same time, I don't.
Yeah, mine gets a
like
little
when it gets
bit
caught
too
in
long.
my shirt buttons.
They're maintenance too. Like that's
Mine
a lot
is
of extra
Mine's
maintenance.
just getting cheeseburgers and food caught in the beard, and then
you
forget
well,
about
you gotta
it.
Keep doing this.
Yeah, you got to move it. Yeah.
But well, speaking of maintenance, I actually I never was one to try any of the beard oils or anything because they have beard oils, beard balms, beard butters.
I know
Her
my
husband.
husband uses them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I have the same feeling about them.
About 3 months ago, I actually started to use some.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if your husband uses some, he might be interested in this part because I always thought a beard is non-maintenance.
Yeah,
right.
That's kind of the point. It's manly, it's masculine. Why girl it up with a bunch of product in your beard hair? Because that's the way I saw it.
Yeah.
Right.
And somebody talked me into trying it. I ordered some stuff online that didn't work out too well, but I also found another place that sells. It's called Sinful Beard Oils and Balms.
I've heard of that.
SYNFUL. You can check those out on Facebook. They have a Facebook page you can look at. Fantastic stuff. My wife loves them. I mean, she loves the aroma from it.
That's
That's
important.
Well, your beard can get out of control, and
it can.
Yeah.
In fact, I need a trim. I'll do that before I film on Saturday.
from no maintenance to
But-
all maintenance.
Yes. Yeah. But the thing is, I was still worried about, it's kind of not as masculine to have all this product in your beard. But then when I found Sinful Beard Oils, you can pick those up at Angler's Bait and Tackle in Englewood, Ohio on Main Street. So you're not going to lose any man points if you can pick up your hair care products at the same place you can test fire a compound bow or renew your fishing license. You're good to go.
They really just fit it in for you. They were like,
fix your beard before you pick up night crawlers. That's the way to go, right there.
Yeah, I'm on the way to fish. I want to smell good.
There you go. They really got it in for you guys.
That's actually the secret on how you catch a fish. Is they like the nice beard.
They
don't want an unruly beard.
You got to have the nice oils in there because the fish come swimming by and go, "That's a man."
That's a man. I'm on that hook. That's the one.
That just smells like a pine forest.
Yes,
I'm going to hop right up onto this boat.
Well, mine actually smells like tobacco.
Okay.
Like pipe tobacco. Not like smoked
Yeah.
tobacco. I didn't run through a forest fire or something.
Yeah.
It has that aroma of pipe tobacco, which I love anyway.
Yeah.
There's that hint of that in there.
Just don't sit too close to the fire. You'll smell like a cigarette afterwards.
Right,
You don't
yeah.
want that.
And I'll be addicted again.
That's
I'll be a
not good.
smoker all over.
Right.
And-
All because of your beard.
All because full circle.
yeah.
Right.
All because of the beard.
Which the beard itself would have been gone had I been able to finish filming on that film. So I'm going to have to blame the person that didn't show up.
Somebody's
to let us
failing
into that
you.
location.
I think they
That's
should
what
thank
it
you in
is.
the credits for keeping your beard.
They better.
They should.
They better.
They should.
Yeah. They should actually thank my beard.
They should write that into your writer.
There
But
should
your
be a
beard.
separate
Oh,
credit for my
please.
beard.
You should also go ahead and turn in all your oil.
It should be
receipts.
Major Fulton, Donald Smith. Major Fulton's beard, Bob.
Drop
There's a reason they call them lazy Sundays. There's nothing better than sitting around and enjoying the comforts of a good book. But what book should that be? Well, every Sunday, Eventide brings you The Bookseller, hosted by Jessica Gillen. Each week, Jessica breaks down a different book and tells you everything you need to know before cracking it open and getting lost in a whole new world. Tune in every Sunday for The Bookseller with Jessica Gillen, brought to you by Eventide Entertainment.
There's Greg Hahn yelling.
Hey, all right, Don, everybody. I'm going to be at Wiley's Friday and Saturday going nuts. This is Greg Hahn in a one-way conversation because the tech at the radio station is ridiculous, so I can't hear anything. I'm just yelling in my hotel room with a dude on the other side of the wall, furious, probably trying to take a nap. I don't know who's over there. But anyway, listen, Friday and Saturday, 2 shows. If you're in college right now, here's how you do a comedy career. You ruin 2 cars, driving around, learning your act in the Midwest. Then you move to New York. Then you move to L.A. What you do once you get to L.A., go to the airport, you fly to Dayton and play Wiley's. Come on, man! Friday and Saturday, I was an English major. My favorite author was Cliff Notes. Hey, all right. You know you're in trouble when you're taking the SAT test. You can't get the practice question correct. Which one of these does not belong? Car, duck. That second car looks awful suspicious. I'm doing material to myself in my room. Nice hotel room. The housekeeper just knocked on the door, asked me if she could come in and clean up. I said, yeah. She came in, took a shower, and left. She got too clever for you. Anyway, all right, Friday and Saturday, I'm going to be there looking for a wife. I need a Dayton wife. I'm going to even go. Don, I can't hear you, but I might invite, I'm going to call Drew Hastings and see if he wants to do a guest set. I don't even know who's on the show. Of course, Drew's not going to show up, but I thought I'd say that. All right, everybody, Dayton, I can't wait. I'll see you. Wiley's. All right. Bye-bye.
A nuclear explosion would be devastating to the planet and would mean a very bad hair day for millions. Because that's really the important thing when there's a nuclear holocaust, to worry about your hair. That's the unnerving wisdom contained in tips the government has issued for dealing with a nuclear blast. Very relevant. Along with the standard advice like covering your head and not looking directly at the flashing fireball, comes this hair-raising recommendation. Quote, wash your hair with shampoo or soap and water. Do not use conditioner in your hair because it will bind radioactive material to your hair, keeping it from rinsing out easily. Wouldn't your hair just fall out? I mean, isn't that
that's
like
the whole thing, right?
If
That's
it
the whole
didn't
thing.
burn off in the initial blast, you're probably
Having a
going to
bad
lose
hair
it
day.
anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, this bit of nuclear wisdom has been around for a while, but knowing it hadn't seemed urgent until recently. Yeah.
So on a nuclear
Which
blast,
is
people are
interesting.
worried about their hair still.
Which is interesting that this is the article that I picked, as far as the government putting out this warning about hair because of the really terrible haircuts of the 2 idiots that are now threatening nuclear war. You have Trump and Un that both have some of the worst haircuts in the history
That
of
is
dictators
correct.
and leaders. Probably not the worst. I'm sure because Kim Jong-il really didn't have a bad haircut. He just wore the really stupid-looking glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
Yeah. The Harry Carey starter kit
Yeah.
is what I like to call that.
yeah. Kim Jong,
awesome.
Harry Carey. Hi, I'm the leader of North Korea.
That's
pretty good haircut.
I don't
That wasn't
understand
bad,
that.
Don.
I'm a huge Cubbies
Budweiser.
fan, and I got to commend you on that. That was amazing.
Well, that's okay. I was doing Joe Young as Gollum earlier.
Yeah, wow.
Nice.
Because he looked like it, and he said he liked to eat dead fish. So
You know, and every time you see Joe, you just want to hug him. Be like, I love you, man.
yeah.
You
It'll
okay,
get
buddy?
better. It'll get better, Joe.
Oh, man.
I mean, not your comedy, but life in general. Oh, poor Joe. Okay.
Haircut. So hair. Is there a particular hair product they recommend for?
Probably there wasn't
Head and
anything
shoulders.
that
Gel,
was in
maybe.
that. Yeah, there
Some
wasn't
kind of gel.
anything that was in the
Maybe,
article,
yeah.
but yeah, just something that wouldn't bind with radioactive material. I guess if you know.
So that's what we'd be panicking about. Like, oh my
Right.
God,
I mean,
I
in your-
wash my hair.
I mean, in your case, Scotty, you have to, man. That's a wicked haircut.
Yeah, man.
That's a
Yeah,
wicked
yeah,
hairdo.
yeah.
So I know you'd be up there
Yeah.
covering.
You can pull it
It
off.
was
There would
like
be
you were
aluminum
standing
foil
in
over it.
between 2 nuclear blasts.
Yeah, one from each side.
It just blew it right up in the middle into
It's
that
actually a
blonde
diagram
rooster.
of a nuclear blast.
Yeah, right there from the front, from straight on.
Yeah, they
Looks
actually
like
do
that's what it
war
looks
plans
like, a
on
mushroom
this.
cloud.
That's as it gets flatter. As it gets flatter throughout the day and the gel wears out, it kind of starts to look like a mushroom cloud on top of
Right,
it.
right. So you guys you already know.
Yeah.
You're already prepared.
He's prepared.
Yeah,
He is
man.
prepared.
Super prepared for it.
An elephant in Namibia trampled and killed a man who was part of a hunting group this past weekend, according to the Associated Press. Jose Manzalves, a 46-year-old from Argentina, was on a private hunting trip 43 miles outside the small town of Caulkfield. When he was killed on Saturday, the elephant apparently saw the group of professional trophy hunters from afar and charged the group before they had time to set up, aim, and shoot. Another man was killed in a similar way in May. A 51-year-old was leading a hunting expedition in South Africa, and he accidentally happened upon a breeding herd of elephants. The elephant cows charged at the group, who fired at them. One elephant was killed and collapsed on top of the man, crushing him to death. These people are not good at their jobs.
It's almost like you're not supposed to hunt elephants.
Right. Yep. I like how the elephants saw the hunting
I know,
party
right? I
and
like how they were able to
charged. It's
prove
like
that.
They must have known. That's a hunting party right there.
Yeah.
These are some smart elephants.
I like that assumption. That's a really good assumption by the Huffington Post.
Yeah, but
that's somebody's vacation. That is
Right,
somebody's
right.
idea of leisure.
The guy from Jimmy John's. That's
Right.
like what he does.
So while my wife and I are at the beach, these guys are out hunting gigantic tusked creatures
And
that
possibly
want
being
to
crushed
kill
to
them.
death.
How many tusked creatures are there?
We should get a count. That
Yeah.
that should be.
Let's spend. How much we got? We got about half an hour, 15 minutes. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's research.
That should be enough time.
Rhinos have tusks.
Yes.
Well, they have horns. I don't know
Yeah,
if
they
they
have
would
horns.
consider those tusks. I mean, hogs. That's
Sure.
the wild pigs.
Yep.
Some of those are tusked.
Well, there's
I don't
one
know.
less now after that story.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's right. One less elephant, anyway. The species are still there.
Yeah.
They didn't kill all the elephants. So just one of them.
Find out
fell.
next week.
Because actually, the same amount of men died as elephants.
Well,
so
it's the equal. That
we're
is
even.
the circle of life.
We're even. We're
That
cool.
is the circle of life, right?
Yeah.
We're cool.
Yeah, but it's good. We're good now.
It was even.
We got one of yours. You got one of ours. All right, cool.
It's only fair.
A man who went to a hospital in China for severe earache ended up having a gecko removed from his ear. The unidentified patient in the Chinese city of Guangzhou went to the first affiliated hospital of Jinan University on Tuesday morning after he reportedly felt something moving around in his ear. Doctors discovered a tiny gecko in the man's ear canal. They anesthetized the lizard to prevent it from crawling further into the man's head. After that, doctors quickly pulled the reptile from the man's ear using pliers.
And the
Nothing
gecko
but
said, "I can save you a fortune on
yes,
car
exactly.
insurance."
Yep, that's a well kept secret. They're whispering it in your ear. Well, they got out most of the lizard anyway. Apparently, the extracted gecko was missing a tail.
Oh
boy. So yeah, that's.
So the guy got a little tail.
They got a little tail, yeah,
That's
and
not a bad
saved the 15%
Yeah.
or more by switching to gecko.
Wow! Did the gecko speak with an English accent? Like,
It
hey,
would've
pull
had
me
to.
back. Hey,
Yeah,
That's
it would have
horrible.
had to.
That's
That
a
would make-
horrible. What's up, governor?
Oh yeah, that's just creepy.
Yeah.
we've
Where
had a
would
lot
you-
of things. We've had a lot of news stories about things in people's ears too.
If something gets in my ears, man, you just shoot me. Shoot me right in the head because I don't want to deal with that. I don't even want to deal with that thought or
'Cause
put me out.
I think last week I had a news story about a man that had a dead cockroach boy.
Oh,
so yeah, it's just
that's
some
a fear
fun
that I
stuff
have because when you're asleep, you're just vulnerable.
There's a TV show I was
Learned that
watching
in the
where
Navy.
somebody actually they had this weird fear of that and they actually slept with pantyhose over their head.
Now I have to sleep with pantyhose
Yeah,
over my head. Thank you, Don.
Now I'm here to provide a solution to your phobias.
Crap.
You are
One
welcome.
more thing to worry about.
Just make sure somebody isn't wearing them.
That's going to go right there with my fear of the gravity disappearing while I'm sleeping and I wake up on the ceiling. That just scares the shit out.
That's not a fear I have. That's actually a dream.
A dream.
I want to wake up with the ceiling fan just whacking my brains out. That's really what I.
I was joking. He's serious.
I'd be okay.
You
I'd be
freak.
I'd be okay with it as long as I wasn't outside when it happened. Where would you go? You'd be lost.
How
You'd
far
be
up
gone.
would you go? And then you would risk having a mutation of a third breast when you get up there and a lack of oxygen.
You're just inviting the hate mail in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love it.
And now the ceiling fan manufacturers are going to be writing you. It's just going to be it's going to be ugly.
Yeah.
Unisex
well, hey,
bathroom
when
installers.
When gravity stops working and I float
When
up
gravity
in the ceiling
attacks.
fan,
That's a Fox series, I think.
that's a lawsuit, is what that is, because they should have foreseen it.
That's right.
And they should make the blades out of like some kind of foam to keep Nerf.
We're really
Nerf
delving
ceiling
too
fan
far
blades
into-
is what we need, just in case. I'm gonna start working on those. That way, when it happens, and I say when,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be protected.
Your
Several
listenership
people
is dropping immediate fast.
It
Do you have it on the
can't
computer over
get
there?
any
Is it showing? Is it showing like a graph?
Does it show you how many is actually listening?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
Not really.
Okay.
It does, but I don't believe it because one time it went all
But
the
there's
way
only
up and then
two?
crashed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't believe that there were that many people on, but there could have been, because I am a popular guy. People love me.
You're a damned attractive man. I'm going to go ahead and say it.
Hey,
So,
even without a third boob.
damn desirable.
Pennsylvania woman is cheesed off after finding what she claims is a rodent baked into the bun of her Chick-fil-A sandwich. Ellen Monfaluti. What a name, Monfaluti. Of Northampton is suing the Chick-fil-A in Middletown for $50,000 for the extreme nausea and anxiety she suffered after she discovered the extra protein. She had started eating the sandwich in a conference room at work when she said, I felt something funny on the bottom of the bun. I turned it over. I said to my coworker, they burned my roll really bad. She threw the sandwich on the table. And that's when the coworker noticed something in the sandwich beyond the listed ingredients. I realized it was a small rodent of some sort. I could see the whiskers and the tail.
It had a little chef's hat, ratatouille.
Yes, a little. It made the cheese to go in there and just got confused.
So nausea is worth $50,000?
I guess.
Because I've been getting that stuff for free.
Well, just imagine how many people listening to this show should be able to cash in.
Exactly. You're going to get sued for $50K.
Now they're going to give him an idea for the next Survivor show.
Yeah.
Why, they're going to make him eat Chick-fil-A?
Who's going to eat this rat burger?
Yep. Who wants to eat a $50,000 Chick-fil-A burger?
Actually, yeah, I've had Chick-fil-A, and that's I'd be okay with the rat.
Yep. Yep, and the cow is saying, "Eat more rodent.
Eat more rats. Eat ratatouille."
Oh yeah, that's terrible.
Don't shout and wave it about. Everyone want one.
Yes, there you go.
I didn't get a rat on mine.
Yep, that's not fair.
Is that the kids' meal? The toys are really starting to suck.
Yeah.
That's where they put the mice.
Yeah. Well, at least it wasn't a gecko in your ear.
Exactly.
So if you had a gecko in your ear and were eating a burger with a rat in the bun, that's a bad day right there. This is how it begins. An army of robots has assembled in China, and so far they seem content to dance and break records. The move is almost certainly to lull humans into a false sense of security, so we ignore the obvious threat that they pose. The 1,069 dancing Dobie robots, set up by WL Intelligent Technology Company Limited, was recognized earlier this month by Guinness World Records for breaking the mark for most robots dancing simultaneously. The total number of dancing robots was slightly higher, but a few keeled over mid-routine and were disqualified by the human educators. So
I wondered about that number, 1,069.
Yes. Yeah, why did they stop there?
1,068 was the last loser's record.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's all they wanted was the new record.
They built as many as they
You're
could.
going to set the bar high.
Right. Well, you got to make it
up
unreachable.
a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, you want to hold that record for a while because you don't want the next guy to come along with 1,070 dancing robots.
Yeah, I don't think it goes like for next year to be 1,000.
Just make one more, like they're across the street, like the Twix factories. Like, come on, Jim, you know this is important to us.
Yeah, we could have done this. If it hadn't
Jeez,
been for
Louise, dude.
So I've always wondered about the Guinness Book of World Records. Well, how everything is a world record now. Everything can be a world record.
It could be. I mean,
they do make it. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
However long you can talk
Right.
Without more than a 5-second break, that could be a Guinness Book World
I think
Record.
It probably is.
I'm sure it is. Everything that you want to possibly do.
Anything that you want to do for a long time, or any strange thing like building 1,069 robots to dance, which I don't trust that anyway. Why would you just build a robot to dance if that's all they're going to do?
Why indeed? I don't know, but I'm impressed with the technology because these things got to have either start at the exact same time or have spatial awareness so they don't bump into each other, right?
Right.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Then
I'm not saying it's
they could
not
stab
an
us all with
feat.
poison darts, too.
Right. It all depends on what their overlords tell them to do.
Yeah, like, oh,
right
cute,
now
little
they're just
robot.
dancing.
I just gotta know if were they doing the white man dance or were they twerking?
They're robots.
There's
I would
no
say they're
way.
doing the robot.
Do you? Yeah, very mechanical.
Oh, the Michael Jackson
Very
robot.
Mechanical.
What
Do you know how
is
many
it?
backbone vertebrae it would have to
hilarious.
twerk?
Yeah, that would be
That's
very
like a-
complicated to make a twerking
Like a
robot.
figure 8 type shape. There's no way a robot's going to do that. Like it's one piece until you get to the hips.
Right. Well, that's
Well,
what
it
twerking
depends.
is the hip.
But what's going to shake? Robot doesn't have any fat on it. It's just gonna. It's going to be very mechanical. I don't think a robot could twerk.
Yeah.
Thinking they
Well,
can.
I think we'd
Think
have
they
to
can?
see
I'm
them.
gonna make one.
If they were if they made them to fleshy humanoid type robots, or if they were just metal
Like I
wiggling
robot.
around.
I'm thinking metal. They got by on a technicality. That's what I was picturing. So maybe you're right. Maybe if they're more like human-like,
Right.
you can jiggle a little bit.
Because there is
I'll
a
make a
firm
human
over in there is a company over.
You're gonna stop
I'll
talking now.
stop there.
Stop talking.
Well,
There's no edit button here.
No, well, there's just a dump button. Which,
Oh, okay.
I mean, it'll still go out over the podcast, so it's cool. I'll just, we'll erase the last 10 seconds of whatever just happened.
Gotcha.
I'm safe. I'm still good.
But there is a company over in England right now that has developed a robot brothel.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm hoping those are at least kind of fleshy and humanoid. Otherwise, that'd be really freaky.
Yeah,
Tank, tank, tank,
There's
keep spinning there.
yeah. You
I
watch
plead the
you watch
fifth.
Robot Chicken, don't you?
I plead the fifth.
You ever seen Robot Chicken?
Yeah, I have.
The horny robot running around humping the washing machine.
Yeah, I'm imagining. I imagine like a real square robot. That'd be how uncomfortable that would be. Like,
That's hilarious.
Yep, they have one over there. So I'm wondering if it's the same type of robots because I would imagine, have to be able to twerk as a requirement. That would have to be, if I'm going to go to a robot brothel, they better have some moves.
yeah.
That better be like a strip club with no glitter, is what I'm talking about. If I'm gonna pay for a robot.
Does the robot
Yeah, I
tell you
don't
it's only
wanna-
doing this to put itself through nursing
Yeah.
school?
Yeah, they're all dancing the dancing
I'm
machine
just
by Michael
trying
Jackson.
to work my way through robot college.
Yeah, I love that. A robot in college, like an ex-sex robot, just sitting here at Wright State. Like, I'm here for math. What is that smell?
Hey, we got all kinds of things here at Wright State. You never know.
There might
All kinds
be.
of people, all kinds.
See,
Yeah,
robotics
there
is
might
probably
be some
listening to us
robots
right
walking
now.
around. Yeah.
Ding.
Yep, that's going to be the next angry letter I got. All you talked about was how I worked my way through college.
Yeah, somebody's offended.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
All right. An alligator sanctuary in southeast Texas says it's on high alert as rising floodwaters risk the escape of roughly 350 alligators. Workers at Gator Country in Beaumont have been busy patrolling the watery grounds of the 15-acre preserve as water from Hurricane Harvey's rain inches closer to the top of the fences that enclose the reptiles. As of Monday evening, none had gotten loose. Gary Siraj, who founded the sanctuary, told KFDM News, "We are less than a foot from going over the fences. All of these are certified high fences. But look, when it won't quit, it won't quit." What is a certified high fence?
I don't. That's a fantastic question.
That sounds like something President Trump would come up
Right.
with. That sounds like it's a certified huge wall. It's a certified high fence.
It's at times like that when your gator sanctuary is about to be so flooded that the gators themselves will escape that you start questioning your life choices.
Yes,
Like,
why
Why
open
did
a
I-
gator sanctuary?
Yeah, I mean,
was this really the best thing I could have done?
I'm all for animal sanctuaries and keeping them safe, but there are certain animals that's just like they're top of the food chain for a reason.
Yeah, they should have had a certified higher wall, I think.
No kidding.
or a certified roof. You know,
how could they possibly? Only way they could possibly get out would be if we get hit with this hurricane, and the biggest hurricane in 50 years, and the water just oh, that's happening. Oh,
wow.
Hindsight's 2020.
Yeah, but if only there was some way we could have looked back and seen some example of what could happen. You know, like if we looked at New Orleans or something like that, where things could go wrong.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I guess. Well, yeah, that's pretty close. That's what it is.
This is
those are the oldest reptiles there, like dinosaurs. So yeah,
okay. I guess maybe the guy who built that, his name is Phil Tibbets. I don't know. For those of you who don't get that joke, Phil Tibbets is the guy in the credits of Jurassic Park who his official title was Dinosaur Handler. And there's this meme that's been going around the internet that says, like, Phil Tibbets, dinosaur handler. You had one job, Phil. You had one job.
So that's in the credits as
dinosaur. It's as dinosaur. I guess he was the guy in charge of, like, taking care of the models and the animatronics and stuff like that. Yeah,
I was going to say, because it's.
Yeah, I don't know, because at that point you have to wonder, did Steve Spielberg not realize they weren't real dinosaurs?
Yeah, was that his nephew or something?
Yeah, okay, we'll give you credit in the film.
Yeah.
You're going to be the dinosaur handler, Philly.
Yep, that's an important job. You just
little 8-year-old kid running around with a toy dinosaur. I got him.
Thanks for listening to the Life Podcast. Check us out on Eventide Entertainment's Podcast Network. Remember, if you want to listen live, we're on Wednesdays from noon to 2 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can always stream the show live at wwsu1069.org. If you have suggestions or comments for the show, feel free to email us at thelife1069@gmail.com.
Presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.